China is facing increased global hostility over its handling of the coronavirus outbreak. Now, an internal Chinese report says that anti-China sentiment is at its highest since the 1989 Tiananmen Square crackdown. The report specifically warns top leaders in China about their greatest adversary, the United States. The report was drawn up by the China Institute of Contemporary International Relations. It is a think tank affiliated with the Ministry of State Security, China's top intelligence body. The report was presented last month to top leaders in Beijing, including President Xi Jinping. And according to the people familiar with the report, the think tank blames the US for leading the anti-China rhetoric after the virus's outbreak. Now, as we know, relations between China and the US have hit a new low. And taking into account the growing force of the anti-China rhetoric, the report has even asked the top Chinese leaders to be prepared for an armed confrontation. More so, anti-China sentiment could surely place its global economic and geopolitical interests at risk. The paper concludes that Washington views China's rise as an economic and national security threat. The number of confirmed cases, remember, around the world has now crossed 3.5 million, but the leaders of the two countries continue to argue over the origins of this virus. Yesterday, the US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, as we just said, asserted that there was significant evidence to show that the virus came from a Wuhan lab. In response, the Chinese state media called him insane. The blame game began with the US President Donald Trump accusing China of covering up the virus's outbreak. But Beijing has repeatedly denied that it covered the extent or severity of the virus. Since the US became the worst affected country in the world due to coronavirus, the mistrust between Washington and Beijing has only worsened. The two countries were already involved in a slugfest dealing with issues of trade war, disputes over Hong Kong, Taiwan, South China Sea. Now, the COVID-19 pandemic is threatening to end the remaining goodwill between these two global powers.